Peace and bright blessings, guys. It's your Queen of Spades coming at you today. So, firstly, let me apologize because when I was doing the live last night, I was, I was like dog tired. Like, oh my God, I was extremely tired. When I get extremely sleepy like that, and it's not like sleepy, it's drained because I do like lots of personal readings and stuff. And whenever I do readings, I literally have to take like 2 to 3 days to myself to recoup because it takes everything out of me to do them. But yeah, but I was trying to hold it together. I noticed in the video where I mentioned like Kim Porter's name and did it fine the first time. But then I started like feeling so drained and so like depleted. The next time I said her name, I said Kim Possible, like the cartoon character. I was like, oh my God, I should just delete this whole thing because that's insane. Um, but I decided not to delete it. Um, if you guys think I should delete it, I'll delete it. Let me know. But I wanted to kind of continue and piggyback off of basically what I had started um, talking about in the first video. This is going to be kind of like a part two. At the same time, I want to address the video clip that just came out, um, which is a video clip from Diddy. And I saw this other YouTuber talking about it, and in the video, in his video, he had the clip of Diddy's most recent response to the Cassie video being leaked. And so I'm gonna put that in the description box below so that you all can check it out yourself. I don't really I don't really feel led to post that first video. Um, Not because I'm trying to like I think it should be hidden or anything like that. No, I think it's right where it needs to be, out in the public. However, I feel sort of responsible like in replaying it. Like in one sense, you want to bring awareness, but in another sense, it's like, am I like kind of like what is the term? I can't think of the term right now, but in other words, like, am I like using her pain like for clicks and stuff like that? Like what she went through. I don't want anyone like just clicking on my video because they see that it's about Cassie, whatever the case may be. Oh, she's got the video that was put up, of her, getting physically mishandled. Let me click on her video. There's more than enough postings of the video out there, and so I really don't feel the need to post it again. Now, Diddy's response is fresh, it's new. And I'm not going to post it personally either. I'm not going to post that because I don't believe a word that he's saying at all. Um, but I will put in the description box the link to the guy who posted um, Diddy's apology video, where he's basically admitting that he did do it. And he's basically saying in the video, like, I was in a real dark time. Like, narcs and abusers always have excuses and reasons for, doing certain things that they know they should not be doing. However, at this point, no matter what he says, it will not erase the stain that he has caused, um, that he has caused to be put on his name, his children's name, his ancestors, his legacy, because he has been doing this foolery for many decades, and he has ruined whole generations of um of children and young men and young women, and even older women that were in his age group, that he has physically and emotionally and mentally and spiritually and financially and sexually abused over and over and over again. These are women that he was in relationships with. These are women that had children, bore him children. These are women that stayed with him and kept the abuse hidden, so as to not embarrass him and not embarrass themselves. And people can say, oh, well, maybe he was paying them, whatever the case may be. None of that really matters. Like, none of it. At the end of the day, I truly believe that, first of all, shout outs to Jaguar Wright, because she been saying all along what's been going on where Diddy is concerned. I've been doing like readings too. Like, I'll hear a video that she does, and I'll do a reading based off of some of the things that I hear from her and other YouTubers, just to check and see, the consistency of it, just to check and see the, basically how authentic, how true, what is being said is. Because I don't know a lot of these people from Adam. They don't know me. But at the same time, I was always taught, believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see. And so if you're going to take someone's word at face value, then if you have a gift to check it out, why not? And so I actually have a gift where I can check it out. And that's basically, within my readings, I'm able to, of course, find out, yes or no answers to questions that I may have, to find out just how accurate and truthful something is or is not. And not to say that any of them were lying or anything like that. But at the end of the day, if you never know just how much stories are passed around, and if these stories are passed around and happen to be passed around to the people that I heard speaking these different truths, then truth can get mixed with falsehood real quick. It can be diluted. It can be taken away from. It can be added to. It can be expanded. It can be exaggerated. And so you never really know until you do the research, do a little digging, and find a little divination and find out yourself. So that's really what I've been doing with these different cases. People say this, people say that. I feel like my job is to uncover the truth. So in doing so, investigation has to ensue. And so it's like, shout outs to all of the truth tellers that are telling the truth regardless of, who may think what, are telling the truth regardless of, what odds may be stacked against you, are telling the truth no matter who may look at you crazy moving forward. Just shout outs to all the truth tellers, because I'm here with you. I'm right here with you. At the end of the day, it really, let's piece apart what he was saying. He says in the video, he's really, really sorry. He was really effed up. you know, at the time that he did this to Cassie. You know, he was in a really dark place. And he's so sorry. He's so sorry for all these things that he's done. You know, not in life, but in this video, you know, just in the video alone. That's the only thing he's acknowledging. He's saying that right after that, he went into therapy. You know, and that's how he's able to take accountability for things. But the guy in the video, the narrator of the video, the guy that hosts the video on his channel, made a great point. At what point was you going to come forward and, you know, state that, yeah, you know, I did do some horrible things? Like, you're not stating anything. You're on award shows and you're shouting out to your victims. Yeah, and thank you to Cassie for holding me down in the dark times. You know, love. Like, no, there's nothing about any of your actions that says love. In fact, your actions scream demon. Your actions scream demonic, you know? Your actions scream evil. But I'm also intelligent enough to know that you're not the only culprit out here doing this shit. I know that. So then the next question is, who holds your leash? Because at the end of the day, Diddy didn't create himself. And not to excuse none of the stuff that he has done by any chance, not by a long shot, because he's going to pay an answer for the stuff that he personally did. There's no way he can't now, especially with everything starting to come out. But I want any and everybody involved to go down. Like, it couldn't have been a Diddy without a Clive Davis or any other people involved, you know, in doing this same exact thing in the industry. You know, there's your R. Kelly's, you know, he got caught up and he's, you know, doing his time, whatever the case may be. But, yeah, no, he should go down, definitely. But the people, his higher ups, they should definitely go down too, because they created him. It's like Jaguar Wright said, you know, they created the monster that he is, and it takes a monster to create a monster. So at the end of the day, they're just as responsible. They taught him how to be who he is. They turned the other, you know, turn the cheek, turn, you know, their head away from his evil actions, his negative deeds. Like, you know, the people that knew that this was going down, saw him beating up on people, saw him, you know, making women do this and making women do that. They all need to go down. You know, it's not enough that just one person, the one person caught on some tapes is going down. No, they all need to go under the jail. All of them. Yeah. So, you know, he goes on to say, you know, but, you know, I'm doing my best to try to be a better man, you know, but I'm not looking for no forgiveness. You know, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. So, my question is, at what point were you sorry? Were you sorry, like, when you wrote the statement, enough is enough? Like, I'm tired of people slandering my name, you know, trying to destroy me, trying to destroy my legacy, trying to destroy my children. You know, all for an easy, quick payday. I'm tired of it. I done stood around silently letting this go down. And you stood around because you're shocked that the truth is coming out. And you're hoping at that point that no evidence will come out to back up the shit that you've done. And so at the end of the day, it's, you know, and I'm a sailor, forgive me, because I'm still working on myself. But at the end of the day, it's like, are you really sorry? Of course not. People like that, with that type of mindset, that do those types of actions, are never sorry. Never. If he had a chance to do it all over again, he would. He would just do it better where, no evidence would be found, and, nobody would be able to judge him, or, there'd be no FBI, because he would handle things so much more carefully next time. It's crazy. But this is a running theme. This is, part of things that go on all the time. It's just that a lot of times we don't know about it. And, I was even watching an interview by Lunel. I'll link her interview. Not her, it wasn't an interview. She was just basically, speaking her 2 cents as well about the situation, like so many other celebrities. I saw a video clip by Peter, who used to play on, he still plays on there sometimes, Housewives of Atlanta. He used to be married to Cynthia. Yeah, he came out with a video clip, and he was talking about how he was one of the men that stood by Diddy and even defended him and said, this is a black man that y'all are tearing down, And he's like, this is not true, what people are accusing him of. They just trying to tear this black man down. And so now, after seeing the video clip, he has to come back and say, I didn't know he was doing that. Like, we hearing things, but we don't know what all is the truth. Somebody could just be, talking against him. They could just be upset with him. So they trying to, bring him down. Bring a black man down. And I'm not saying situations like that don't exist, because they do. But this is definitely not one of those situations. Not at all. Definitely not one of those situations. So, one second, guys. I need to respond to something. And I have some like high frequency sounds and vibrations going on right now. If you hear something in the background, I just feel like we all need healing. This whole planet, the whole earth, the whole universe needs healing. And healing energy right away. And before real healing can come, the things that are hidden, tearing at the fabric of society, of, positive life and healthy living, the things that tear away at that very fabric of peace of mind and complete freedom and justice and equality, the things that tear away at that need to be destroyed and removed first. And then once those things are removed, then people can really release those things, that they experienced that have a hold on them. And then once you release, then you're able to start your healing process. So, you know, I have a lot of thoughts about this entire situation. I don't believe he's sorry. Um, I just believe, he's saying what he's saying now because he got caught. That's all. He did not expect for this video to come out. He did not expect for the world to see him as he really is. He expected to be able to just say a bunch of words and everybody continue to look away like they have over the course of several decades. So unfortunate that he's gotten away with so much, and he ain't the only one. His higher-ups, his mentors, Tupac, Biggie, Heavy D, Aaliyah, DMX, Shakir, countless others. Kim Porter, the coroner that checked Kim Porter and said that something wasn't right. Didn't look like pneumonia. Looked like something else. That mysteriously died. The lady that got shot in her face at the club in the 90s. Shine, who was the fall guy, who went to jail for multiple years and was paid off by Diddy for his silence. Multiple lives were affected, inclusive of his children, who witnessed a lot of this abuse that he dealt out to their mother and other women. And their mother really tried hard, Kim Porter, to really just keep the children from seeing all these different types of things. She died trying to protect them. And so a lot of people say, like, why she didn't go, and do this? Why she didn't put... Don't you understand the magnitude of someone who has ties to the police force? Someone who has agents working for him? They're on his payroll? When someone is powerful like that, it's not a lot that you can do in reporting your situation. You've got to move very carefully. And it left her no choice, Kim Porter I'm talking about, except to give the evidence that she accumulated over the years to Cassie just a few days before she died, before she was murdered. And this lady called 911 right before she was murdered. Diddy bought a casket months before she was murdered. Nobody batted an eye. So if women who are in high society, who have lots of money at their fingertips, who are with powerful men who have lots of money at their fingertips, don't have a chance in reporting crimes against themselves at the hands of men who are powerful, wealthy men. A girl down the street, around the block, in a normal life, normal lifestyle, very low income based, with children and an abuser for a partner, has absolutely no chance. No chance at all. I was blessed to see how the court system works. There were things that I attempted to report in my life, and they said, this person seems totally harmless. And they dismissed the charges because he seemed totally harmless. So it makes you wonder, aside from God, what option does an abused man or woman really have in this lifetime? Like, what solution? What protection? See, this is why I do what I do. Because sometimes the law just don't work. It just don't work out. For normal, everyday people, let alone people in high society, it just don't work out sometimes. Every now and then, if you got evidence, if you got proofs, you may be in the money. But what about those of us who never got a video recording of what was happening? And my situations were years ago. And it doesn't affect me like it used to. So I have gotten to a point where I was able to release the energy holding on, like that had a hold on me with those situations. You know, to the point where, like, even my children, sometimes they'll question, like, why did this happen? Why did they do that to you? Why? And I tell them, I've forgiven them. And a lot of people say, oh man, F forgiveness. And, it's your opinion. I don't love you no less if you think that way. Because I thought the same way once upon a time. But then I realized that forgiveness really isn't for that other person. Yeah, you're saying you forgive them, but you're forgiving them for yourself. And you're forgiving yourself too for allowing yourself to go through it. However much of the responsibility is yours, you're forgiving yourself for it. And you're forgiving them to release their hold, their energetic hold that they have on you from that situation. You're releasing them, you're releasing their hold, and you're releasing whatever ties and attachments they put on you in that situation. That's why you forgive. So that you can be free to move on in peace. I do what I do with energy work in helping people because the law sometimes just don't fall through. It just doesn't. Before I knew anything about an energy work, I tried it out myself. I went to the courts, wrote full statements, gave great details and accounts of what all I went through. And they said, this person seems completely harmless. We are dismissing this case. No lie, no exaggeration. What am I left to do after that? Like, some people go after their abusers and kill them. But then now you're in jail for the rest of your life. And see, I got children, so I'm not going to end up in jail for the rest of my life. But sometimes people don't have a choice. However, though, I was blessed with a choice. And that choice was to turn towards my own innate power. And now I'm allowed and encouraged by divine source, the Most High God, to not only help myself with my power, but to help other men and women with my power as well. The innocents. The ones who don't have nobody batting for them. The ones who try to go the legal way, the justice route, and they don't receive no help. Nobody hears them. Nobody believes them. And so then those people find me, and I help them. So, people have lots of judgments on different things, and that's their prerogative. I don't really care, to be honest, because I'm going to do what I feel is best in this lifetime. I'm going to do what I feel is best for me in this lifetime. And others. Because it's never just about you. The apology was whack as hell, and it was really fake. And I really feel in my heart that if that videotape never leaked, would we have received that from him? Even just that alone? Like, it just feels so disingenuous. And that's just my honest opinion on it. Before you were talking all this junk, the truth, everyone, the time tells the truth. Time has told the truth. It certainly did. It certainly has told the truth today, honey. It told it and it showed it. Thank you. Because what that video did for Cassie, for the ones of us who did not have camera footage and evidence, it vindicated us too. And I'm so glad it came out, because things like that need to be coming out. People need to understand that it really don't matter how much money and fame you got. If you are living by double standards and you're talking one way and moving a whole nother, what's done in the dark will always come to the light. Always. Even if it comes to the light based off of a little push and a little shove from people beyond. So for the people who think that if I just do away with this person, it will keep this hidden, nah, it don't work like that. In fact, what you did was empower them to now really be able to come after you. And now the things that you have hidden all of a sudden mysteriously come about. Because they have help from God. And they're never truly dead. You only killed their physical selves. Their spirit lives on. And their spirit is going to make sure that justice is served. And so will divine source. So will the Most High. Nothing goes without being unchecked. Nothing. And I say this from personal experience. Because I'm not sitting here like I'm just completely perfect and have never made any mistakes in my life or errors. But especially when you know better, God comes after you the hardest. He want to show you something. He want to teach you something. It's really crazy. It's really crazy. We just saw that one video of what he did to Cassie. That video was what, like minutes long? Imagine what he did to her over the course of years. They were together for years. Years. All the women that he had been with stated on one platform or another how they were beat, how they had to hide under cars, how they, had to put someone's tampon in their mouth, how they were threatened, how they were beat and caused to miscarry by this man, how their noses were broken, how they were slapped about, how they were drugged, raped, ran train-ons. Man. And they were powerless to say, no, I don't want a train ran on me. Because he was going to make it happen anyway. He's instructing people on what to do to them while he's sitting back groping himself and pleasing himself off of it. He didn't care about their feelings. So I don't really want to hear an apology because I know it's fake. And the only reason why you're apologizing and you're just so apologetic right now, you're just so sorry, because he didn't apologize. It take a grown man to apologize, a grown woman to apologize. He's sorry. Well, yes. Yeah. Yes. Those are the absolute right words to use. Because your actions were sorry. You should be ashamed of yourself. Because your ancestors are. They are. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You could have been so great. You could have set such a trailblaze for not just young black men and women coming behind him. He could have set the tone for so great of things for people coming behind him. But instead, this is what he did with his power. He just continually misused and abused it. And everyone around him. Wow. If all of this is true, like, is it true that you are auctioning off your daughters to the highest bidder? You didn't learn your lesson. You didn't learn your lesson. But you're gonna. You will. You will. We all will. We don't have any choice but to learn life's lessons. It is God's will. I will leave down in the description box once again the national hotline number for domestic violence and abuse, which is never okay. I don't care if the abuse is towards a man or a woman. I don't care if you're black, white, green, or yellow. It's never okay. Never. The whole situation is crazy. And just know, he should know that you're not the only one that knows where the bodies are buried. You're not the only one that knows what closets those skeletons are hiding in. And it don't matter at this point what you said, because you're decades too late. Probably should have started off in the 90s apologizing. And then maybe you should have changed your actions around and, just kind of decided maybe to be a decent person, you know? God forbid. It just probably would have worked out way different for him. Just maybe. But he chose what he chose. And every tub must sit on its own bottom. Every knee shall bend, every head shall bow, and every tongue shall confess. He may have done away with Kim Porter, but he did not get rid of her. Not by a long shot. When she left this earthly realm, she promised, for the sake of her babies, to make sure that he was found out. Just like she said in my reading a year ago. Here it is coming into fruition. It had already begun when I did that reading. It was already starting. It just was behind the scenes. Now everything's coming out and about. All the underground work has already been done. Tracks have been laid. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I believe either I read or heard one of the women that either he was in a relationship with, or somebody said it. And he has a room in his house, where he does these different types of demonic black arts type of rituals, to keep people in check, to come after his, supposed enemies, which really weren't enemies. They were just people who weren't moving the way he wanted them to. So he came after them. It's crazy. But who taught him all this? All of them need to go down. All of them. And they will. This is the day of reckoning. Everything hidden will come to the light. Everything. Not just for him, but for any and all of us. But especially for him. And especially for people like him. It's just really crazy, and it's heavy. It's a heavy subject. It's a heavy topic. Domestic violence is not okay. I pray that whenever he goes to jail, that the children are protected and taken care of. I pray that someone can take care of them, because those little girls are still underage. And I don't feel bad about him going to jail, or whatever type of sentence he gets, because it may have just saved their lives. It may have just saved all of his little girls' lives. When people are into demonic worship and demonic rituals, they do not think anything about how horrible it is to sell off their children to the highest bidder. They feel like their children are an extension of themselves, and they are their property. I can do whatever I want with my property. It's mine. So if I want to sell them off to the next quadrillionaire, then I will. And who can check me for it? So him being exposed has literally saved his children's lives. For the one, I believe his name is Sean too. I think the oldest one that looks, no, he's not the oldest. Yeah, he's not the oldest. He's the second oldest that looks just like him. Cassie's, not Cassie, Kim Porter's oldest child with Diddy, her son. I feel really bad, not for the fact that he's going down too, because he is. You know, because he chose his way, and he will have to pay the consequences for the way of life that he chose. However, it's not totally on him, because he was groomed into being the way that he is today by his father. I had a talk with my children, and I said, you know, as far as like certain situations go, a lot of times people abuse because they were abused. People rape and mishandle other people because that same thing was done to them. Is this an excuse? No, not at all. But it does give you insight into that mindset and why that person is the way that they are. And I taught them how to forgive. I taught them how to forgive so that that energy doesn't have a hold on my future generations. So it doesn't have a hold on my legacy. I taught them to forgive so that they can heal themselves, heal the individual that did that to me and us, and also heal their bloodline. I told them, don't be angry at that person, because they have to answer to God for all that they've done. And that's for God to deal with. That the entire situation has been left in God's hands. And so you can feel a type of way about it, but look at it from the perspective of this person will never kind of even know where to begin and take an accountability for it, because they weren't taught that. They literally will have to be taught their lessons directly through God. And so it's not, as I told my children, it's not for you to, judge us. It's for you to leave us to God. Your elders to God to judge. Pray for us. Pray for us all. And at the same time, use those ugly actions as an example of what not to be, of what not to become. Use it. Look at it. See how ugly it looks? See how ugly it sounds? You don't want to be that. Let yourself use it as a good lesson on how not to be moving forward in your life. And let it be a good lesson for your children on how not to be too. And let the healing begin. But for this particular situation, he continued to abuse and misuse and get away with things and kill and murder and have people set up and have bombs planted in people's cars and have women abused and have them constantly raped in the freak-offs and the parties and, like it was no tomorrow. Like he would never have to answer for any of this. And now we're seeing an example before our very eyes from divine, the Most High God, that you will always have to answer for things. Just because you don't answer for it right up front doesn't mean that you will never have to answer for it. In fact, the more craziness you do, the more of a public spectacle God will make of you. And your stuff will not be answered for silently. It will be out loud and bold print because of all that you did. You weren't sorry when you were doing it. You weren't sorry when you decided to do it. And you weren't sorry after you did it. After the pain you caused, after the bruises and marks you left, you weren't sorry. You were only sorry when the evidence came about. And you've got some repenting to do, my brother. You've got repenting to do. But you're going to answer for those grievances. You're going to answer for those actions. Nobody gets past answering for the stuff that we all do. No one. And so you will have to answer for that. You're answering for it right now, in this lifetime, in real time. And I would suggest that he get a good, start accumulating a good relationship with God. I don't know if he'll ever do that or not. I know which type of God he has, a tie and connection with. And what is it doing for you right now? So that's all I have to say on this for now. I will talk y'all heads off about these types of things, because it is, it's something that we all can talk about. It's right out in public, So that's my 2 cents on it. I'm gonna leave it there. And, I'm going to definitely release this situation for now. And if any new developments come up about it, I may speak on that too. But this is my 2 cents on that. And hopefully everybody will use these things that are coming about as lessons for our own lives too. And, you know, we may have experienced certain things in our lives, but it doesn't mean our future generations have to be jacked up too. Doesn't mean they have to be messed up. We can use our experiences to heal ourselves and heal the future generations that are here and are to come. Just by simply changing how we react to things and changing also the scope and the magnitude of, you know, how we deal with things. By doing that, we help our future generations by teaching them and showing them and preparing them and arming them, not in a toxic way, but in an informational type of way, in a healing type of way, so that they're not left with the stain of bitterness, but empowerment to be able to release and heal themselves. And that's what I've done for my sons, and I continue to do it for them. And yeah, I'm sure you all out there are doing things differently like that too, you know, where, you know, your children are concerned. Every generation is more advanced. With each generation, you know, it becomes better, it becomes different. It's a reason why our generation is the answer to our ancestors' prayers. It's a reason. So, I'm going to just leave it on that note for now. And I'm going to end this. And you guys let me know what you think. And until then, peace and many bright blessings unto all of you, whoever watches this video. And may Divine Source, may God, may our enlightened ancestors who are our first line of defense, may our spirit guides, guardian angels, our royal spirit teams continuously bless and protect all of us with divine love, light, and a reflective protection over our persons and our children and our personal and material possessions. May we have peace of mind. May we move forward with peace of mind and happiness and in a direction towards great health and yeah, just a better life of happiness and joy. It starts with cleaning out our own lives. And with each change we make, each positive change we make to ourselves and our own lives, it literally reverberates out into the world, out into the universe. It makes a ripple effect and causes changes out in the world, out in the universe. So let's do it. I challenge us all to be better. And to use these situations as examples of how not to be moving forward. I wish you all the best. Peace and many bright blessings unto all of you. And I will see you in the next video.